Alright, welcome back everybody. We are moving right along. Like you saw in the last video, we got this thing rolling and sort of looks like a hot rod again. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna finish the last piece of the turbo. Sorry, you're on a cabinet door. We're gonna finish the last piece of the turbo kit, which is the downpipe. So we're starting to mock that up and get that all done. I still have to finish welding the stainless side on the driver's side, and we have to do the complete one on the passenger side. And then I have to weld bungs in both for O2s. I only have the one O2 right now, and I have to purchase the other one because, you know, twin turbo split banks now. So we're gonna get this one mocked up. We're gonna get it done. And I gotta make some bracketry to hold them up because right now they're just supported by the turbo. So I gotta have the fenders on the car to make sure they're in the holes in the fenders somewhat close before we go ahead and rip the fenders off and make brackets to bolt to the body. And we're almost done with wiring. We'll go over power up on all that. I royally messed up my trans brake and bump box wiring on the steering wheel. Just wasn't thinking, stupid, so that has to get all redone. And we got to do door pins because it's almost time to rehang doors on this. So we'll see what we get to today. Let's jump into it. Of course, some of probably my best aluminum welds to date will be in a goddamn fender. Probably wrapped in heat wrap. It almost makes me want to redo my charge pipes with this Ace Race parts, man. I mean, their material speaks for itself. I mean, it is some of the nicest. Now, mind you, I didn't clean any of this. I took it out of their packaging and just wiped it with acetone and sent it. I didn't hit it with a Scotch-Brite. I didn't hit anything. This stuff is, I mean, you can't beat it. It makes me look like a good welder. All right, so we've changed gears from the downpipes to making a catch can. Building it out of scrap right now. The only thing that was bought new so far is these, but I bought these from Monkey Fab. I don't know, like a dozen of them at a time. So it's some spare 4-inch I had, some spare flat plate. I haven't decided if I'm going to use my old filter, which is a 3-inch opening, and do the 3-inch tube, but it kind of leaves the sides to be a little tight. So if I have to just buy a new filter, I have some 2-inch. You know, it's a little bit better, and go from there. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do with that, but I got to get the bottom all set with the drain flange. I got to get fittings on this, and we'll figure out the top after. Freaking kids drawing on my car with a Sharpie. Alright, so let's get this. What? Let's get this one welded up here. It's nice. It's like a perfect 125. It's a little overkill for a catch can, but it's what I have laying around. All right, today is Saturday. We're gonna try to be the day where we get oil pressure in this thing and we get some heat in the pipes and watch all this beautiful stainless change that nice beautiful gold. Last night I didn't record it, but I finished the down pipes last night minus a couple mounting tabs. But I want to make sure, it's a lot of work for the mounting tabs because I got to get the fenders on and off, on and off, and on to make sure the tips are in the right spot. This tip is not done. I just have it semi-tacked on there because I'm not sure at the angle, right? So I'm waiting to get another couple of sets of eyes on that first because it's hard to tell. I mean, you can't see both together. I've taken pictures. I don't know. I just want it close. I don't care about it being perfect because you'll never see the two together. So I finished the stainless last night. I had a huge problem welding this the other night, and I kept overheating the weld. I couldn't figure it out. I did 3 of them, all 3 overheated. I tried 3 different temperatures, 3 different weld speeds, and I gave up. I put something up on my Facebook. A lot of people gave comments and hints and tips and tricks. Well, I always try to push my bottle empty. The bottle had probably like 200, 300 psi in it. I'm gonna blame it on bad gas coverage, and we'll go from there. Because I went yesterday, got a new bottle, reset my amps, reset all my regulators, cleaned everything up, and I'm right back in business and laid down some of my best stainless welds, I think. You know, they're not perfect. They're not the best in the world, but that's some of the best I've done, and I'm very happy with it. That Ace Race parts material is by far my favorite. So the downpipes are done, O2 sensors in. I still got to get the kit. They make a kit to add a secondary O2 to the Dominator with a whole plug and everything. I got to get that because obviously I'm going to only read one bank right now, and it's not necessarily the best way to do it because now I have no idea what the driver bank is doing. But I don't need that to start it. I technically don't even really need to see it. I mean, nothing really changed in the motor. You know, top to bottom, the motor's the same injectors, same plugs, same coils. You know, we didn't change anything mechanically. So the tune-up this thing should just fire right up and run fine. Fingers crossed, because you know what happens when you say that crap. So the tune-up should be on point. We really shouldn't have to change anything. The only thing we're going to have to start adjusting is pretty much boost, you know, same map sensor. Like, nothing really changed in the department that's going to mess up the tune drastically. I'm going to jack up the back of the car today. I got the spare nuts in from Strange because I lost 2 of those. If we remember on drag week, all the studs loosened up. Everything's been Loctited. But I needed 2 nuts. I lost that, so I ordered 10. Just to do, well, I'll have 8 spares. So I'm going to Loctite them in and torque them again. There's like 85 foot-pounds on these and like 55 on the studs. Whatever. So those are done. Hopefully they don't come loose again. And I got to hook up. Once I do that, I can assemble the brakes. We can bleed the brakes. Get the brakes all bled. And that'll be done. So the timeline today is I have to redo my oil drain for my driver turbo. It's a touch too long, so I've already taken 1 inch out of this. I got to take like another inch out. Get that on the car. Fill the rear end. Fill the transmission. Fill the engine. All with the fluids. Not worrying about the intercooler today. That's not done. It's not plumbed, but don't need that. Wire the starter. Wire the alternator. I'm hoping the 4-gauge welding cable I have is long enough to get it to the battery, because now it's down on the driver's side instead of the upper passenger. I don't know if that's really gonna, I might be able to reroute it. I don't know. But I gotta wire that. I gotta wire the starter to the shifter for the neutral safety switch because our local track does check. Dave's coming up. He's working a half a day today, so he'll probably be up here about 1 o'clock. It's early. I just got back a haircut. It's 8 o'clock. And I'm getting excited. I want to hear this thing run. I want to join that dump truck club. If you've heard of twin turbo LS, you know they sound like dump trucks. Small cube motor, you can't really do anything about it. We'll just try to get the idle as smooth as we can on it. As much as I'd like a choppy V8 idle, I cannot stand the sound of twin turbo V8 LS's. And yeah, we'll go from there. And then once that's good, the final push will be on to get this thing racing. I want to race by the end of the month. We'll see. So I'm in the middle of making my catch can. More work on my catch can, I should say. I'm not going to bore you to death with cutting out aluminum. And we'll pick back up with more progress and we'll see where we are. So we got all the fluids in it, we got the brakes bled, all the rear brakes on, adjuster shifted. I'm having a problem where if you put it in second, you adjust second, it's good in 1, 2, and 3 in park, but not in reverse and neutral. You adjust that, it gets all screwy in all the other ones. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do about that yet. We just did the TPS auto set, reset some of the other sensors, ran the starter wire. I don't know, so now we're gonna push outside. We drained the fuel, you saw that. Just put 5 gallons in it, push outside, see if this thing actually starts. We'll get the fucking extension cord out too.
Yeah.
Hook up the charger. Who knows, it might just fire fucking right up. It might sit there and crank.
I think it should fire pretty quickly.
We didn't change too much, like when it comes to that stuff.
No, the only thing we might have to mess with is the throttle blade.
Yeah, we might have to hold it open. A little more. Just in case something happens. Right. That's why we do first starts outside.
Oh, good. And it's got a little 3-ponger on there?
Yep.
Perfect. So here we can plug in the laptop. Alright, so your battery's one of Wheat Jammies?
Yeah, China baby.
This is good. Coming up.
Yeah.
That one.
Ready for it to sound like a dump truck?
Blub, 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 blub.
That sounds so. Alright, well, let's see if this thing fires. You ready?
Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't know if it's going to start or not. Just be prepared to shut it off. I'll watch to make sure once you start cranking it that we get oil pressure.
Yeah.
Oil.
You ready?
In the clear view. Yeah, go ahead.
1 PSI. What happened?
It kicked the belt for the AC already.
Wow. One little fucking fire already kicked the belt, huh?
As long as it's out of the way of the crank pulley.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one fucking they recommended. Guess I'll have to get a shorter one.
Yeah. See that, or you don't have it lined up quite perfectly.
There's really nowhere, like, there's no alignment.
Yeah.
All right.
Might have to like shim the AC compressor forward or back. But we ain't got the oil yet. You did that?
Shut off itself, but I got only 1 PSI.
1 psi what?
Oil pressure.
It's pumping oil. I can see it moving.
Is it? Maybe the sensor's not reading right?
Maybe it just didn't get to the sensor yet because you got to fill all this shit first, right?
Alright, let's try it again. Got 40 pounds of oil pressure, 101 pounds of fuel pressure. That's right, I had the regulator apart.
Well, yeah, all right.
What size is that nut? Like a 13?
Yeah, 13, 14.
Ooh, look at that, huh?
That was pretty cool. Like, so like, you were cranking and it had nothing.
Yeah.
And then it like lit and you gave it a little gas and it just filled the fucking I was like, ah, oil. That's pretty good. And it idled by itself, or you had
Yeah,
the whole throttle?
no. Once it got on, I was able to. What the fuck size is this thing?
Yeah. Didn't we have a problem with that once before?
There you go.
All right.
All right, there you go. Crank that bitch out a little.
Good.
One side. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's a car.
Well, you won.
So kick the AC belt, you can see it wobbling. So I gotta address that. All right, I am calling. Oh, you want peanuts? Come here. Come here. Daddy, open it. Here. I'm calling today successful. We have some issues, but like any other thing, it just gets sorted out now. I have a small pinhole in the radiator right here on this mount. I don't know how this didn't show up when I pressure tested it, but neither here nor there, it's a leak. And the water that was sitting in the block is absolutely disgusting, so it's no big deal. And pull the radiator out, flush the motor, flush the radiator, weld that up, put it all back together. I did have a leak in the beginning with the clear view. It was leaking in between the seams. I didn't see it leak when we fired it up again, but it's something I'm gonna have to pay attention to. And this thing is freaking awesome. All I have to say, I love this thing already. It is so cool. What else? We got a transmission leak, and I'm like 99% sure it's the tail shaft housing. There's a gasket in there again, and I should have just changed it to silicone, but I'll worry about that after. We put the car up on the brake. I have a little cell phone video I'll put in to show you. It makes 5 pounds of boost, which is the wastegate spring. Springs 2 seconds, pretty quick, and that was without changing anything. Yeah, and now I just gotta finish it and get it going, get it driving, get it racing. So you can see the leak right there. You know, I gotta finish the intercooler, but look at the color those headers are changing too. Stainless is turning gorgeous. No fuel leaks. Car runs pretty good. It's obviously still little things here or there, but I am far from mad about it. We're calling today a success. I'm very happy. Don't climb up there. Doesn't sound as bad as I expected. It still doesn't sound good. Standing on one side or the other, it sounds bad. But in the car, or out in front of the car, it doesn't sound bad. Yeah. Well, that's that. We're going to wrap this up. I got to get to work and get more stuff done on this thing. Like the alternator that's not wired, so we're just running on the battery charger. We're going to upgrade the Holley to V6 to 20 or whatever the newest one is out. Get down. Got to hook up the intercooler still. I got to wire the radiator, the oil cooler fan. Like, there's still a bunch of work to do. But the car runs, the car drives, the car builds boost. Hey, do not. The car builds boost and everything. So I'm a happy man. Get in your garage, get to work on your hot rod, grab a cold beer, which I don't know where my cold beer went. I lost my cold beer. Grab your cold beer. Have a good night, guys.